Hey everybody, good morning or good afternoon I should say. Thank you and welcome to 7 Mile Hill Sanctuary. Thank you to all those amazing subscribers that are on here on our channel and keeping up with us. We really appreciate you. If you would hit that like button when you watch the video, that really would help us out. It is just so beautiful out here right now. It's just amazing what God's tapestry can do for a soul when you've had such a hard week and you just need peace of mind knowing that He is ever presently there. It's amazing. You can just hear the birds. It's just beautiful, and I needed this for sure. Well, we are continuing on with the cabin. Lance is putting up the light fixtures right now as we speak, and so we're changing out where the light bulbs are in. We're putting that in because the ceiling is complete now, and it really looks the way we kind of wanted it to be, like as far as countrified and calming. So we've got the light fixtures going up now. So I am going to show you how we started our day, starting with our chores and going on through and then on to our projects, because it is a daily thing and we really want to get this cabin up and running so we can get on to our next project. One of our next projects is the bee hut that we put up 4 years ago, and we are using them for the bees, obviously. So what we've decided to do, because it's located near this one, we're going to turn it into a dry cabin and move the bees closer to the garden down below. And I think that'll work out just fine. So with that said, let's show you how we started our day. Oh, did you hear me say treat? That's right.
You'll get one. Come on, let's go get a treat. What's that to get right here? This what good girls do, they get treats?
They all get it.
Yeah. Hold on, wait for Daddy. Hold on, wait for Daddy. Yeah. Good boy. I know you're a jealous girl. You gotta wait. Yeah. Watch out. You'll get you a chance. Get out of there. Stay.
He's gonna feel better with all that hair off.
Huh?
He'll feel better when that hair's off.
Oh, yeah.
You girls ready to get out? Okay. All right. Here we go.
Come on, yes, you did. You gonna hug the daddy too? Oh, you wanna jump up to hump a base? Ashley, you got a hug?
Good morning, Sleepy. Good morning, Sleepy. Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, hockey, Nuka. Come on.
We're almost done.
Everybody's done now? Babies, huh? Yeah. Those are the babies. Come back to see babies. Okay, guys. Look at this one here. She got into the groceries. She can't even move, hardly. Alright, be good to the baby. Come on, kids, let's go.
Before we get started on the cabin fixtures, I want to show you how close Lance got to this most beautiful bald eagle that comes in every single day, and he comes out in the area. He's, sometimes he's looking for food, or he just sits up in, there's 2 trees behind our cabin that he will sit in. One to the right is more than likely for the young ones. We usually see the young ones in the tree to the right, but on the left, it's usually the male, and then he calls in his females. And if you look in our channel, you'll see many times where we have videoed those eagles coming and going, taking off in flight, sitting in the trees, calling for their mate. But just recently, the eagle let Lance get just a few feet from him and allowed him to take pictures of him. That is amazing. That is God's grace. So, as you can see, I'm trying to find all of God's blessings in this moment, especially where I've had such a hard week. But it was just so amazing, and it just reminds you that God is ever present, no matter what comes our way, no matter what. Thank you, Lord. Then we're going to get on to the project with this, and then our next project, of course, is we're going to be switching over to a hot water tank from the heat on demand. The heat on demand up in our cabin has been amazing for the last 4 years that we've had it in there. A little bit of maintenance here and there, but it's always done amazingly well. But down here in the lower cabin, either because the cabin got too cold, if somebody wasn't in it, that the lines froze up, or just not able to keep up with it, especially if nobody's in the cabin itself. This year we have many more people who are wanting to come up here and spend a weekend in the cabin, so we know it's going to be utilized, but we do not want to put another heat on demand in this cabin. We have put in 3 so far. They're over $1,000 a piece, and it's just gotten to the point where we can't just keep doing that. So we decided on, instead of doing that, spending $1,000 on that, we saw a hot water heater that we could utilize, and they were running about the same price. So we thought we could do that. It had better options on it. It could be monitored. We could monitor by our phone to see what's going on, so we'd have better chances of taking care of any issues with it. And we shouldn't have any problems with it, because we should be able to maintain it a lot better than the heat on demand, where we couldn't do that always, especially if nobody was in the cabin and we didn't make it down that day and we had a freeze during the night. So our next project is obviously from the lights and doing a little bit of work inside the cabin will be that plumbing will be changed over to the hot water tank. Another blessing. So that would be 3 today that I'm bringing you, besides what is surrounding me right now, and besides seeing those amazing eagles allow Lance to get so close to them. And we went down to Lowe's. Amazing. Lowe's is they're just a good place to be when you want something. Wonderfully professional, courteous, and willing to help people in the Lowe's down in Wasilla. So we went in and we found what we wanted. It's a 50-gallon water tank, and we will be running power from our cabin with the solar down here, because you saw that we changed over our power source, so we're going to be doing that, and that will be one of our next ones as well, and that's a costly one. So just be praying for us on that one, because we need to come up with the monies for that, and we also need to come up with the monies for a diesel operated heating source that'll come in here. We wanted to take the wood stove out, because we don't want any dangers of kids or anybody getting burnt on that. Not everybody that's been in the cabin knows how to even run the wood stove, so we just felt on the safety side we're going to change that out. So you'll see that coming up soon. Water heater. Back to the blessing. The hot water heater, as we said, was going to cost about the same as what we would have done for the heat on demand, with all the things that we needed to add to that tank. It's a slender tank, so we can slip it in beside the shower. We went in and we found what we wanted, and it was the last one in stock. And it's just, well, 1, that was a blessing. 2, they were not going to be putting any more in. They were actually getting smaller tanks, like the 40 gallons and that sort of stuff, through electrical or propane or whatever. Natural gas. We're not using natural gas up here. There's just no way, shape, or form could we ever get natural gas up here unless some crazy presidential power. We were told we would never get electricity up here unless even if we were an Eisenhower, it wouldn't happen. So, no natural gas. So, back to my story. We went in and we looked at it. We saw no price, because it was the last one. And they had the shelves full of the 40 gallons. So, we had called over the gal, Bobby, who has always been very helpful to us when we've gone in there to find equipment or material or whatever we've needed. She's always been there to help us, and we just like the way we really want to help her out as well. So she came up to the box, scanned the box, and it was a crazy price. Like 1/3 of what it was going to cost us originally. 1/3 of the $1,100. Is that a God's blessing? You bet it is. It is a God's blessing. So on the way home, we decided, you know what? We need to get back. Or Lance said that. We need to get back. And I thought, okay, how do you want to do that? Lance had gone to one of the local stores that we purchase our dog food from Three Bears. There's the one who carries it. And the Joe Reddington High School was doing a fundraiser to get a water fountain for the middle school. They're trying to raise money for their middle school. So we bless them. What it didn't cost us for the hot water heater. And had a little extra for ourselves. That's a blessing. So because God gave us, we definitely gave back. So I want to get to what we're doing. You want to shut the power off?
No, not yet. Come on, you swell.
One of the famous words Lance has to say.
Okay, like a little bit more. Come on, pig. Here we are back at the cabin. Robin's got her ceiling on now. She's getting ready to put these basic lights, pretty cheap. They're from Home Source, or Project Source, I should say. Very inexpensive, easy to put on. So before we start any electrical work, it is advised that you turn the breakers off or shut down the main breaker, irregardless. So we're gonna put this mounting bracket here that I got in my hand, and it's gonna go up through here, but I've got to run the line that feeds the light from the box through here. So we're going to go to the best of our ability and get this up through here like this. And then we're going to mount it. So I've got these two screws that I just took out of the old light, and I'm going to put this mounting bracket back up. We'll leave it loose to start with so I can put the other screw in without having to fight to get it in place. There. So here's our supply right here. For the power, here is our connections, black to white, pretty basic. What we need to do now is always, before you connect any electrical device, is put the ground on first and everything. So we can see here, I don't know if you guys can or not, but there's a small little ground screw here on this bracket, which is metal. And so we're going to go like this, get this ground wire, which not only benefits safety to start with, but the beauty of it is, it almost acts like another set of hands, because this mounting fixture is so light that you can suspend it while you work and freeing up both your hands. So now we've got to get a couple wire nuts. I don't know if that Project Source came with it, but being down the road a few times, I've had to learn.
I saw some wire nuts in there.
I've got a couple right here. This may work. So obviously we got this and this. And so what I want to do is, I got to bend those back because they were in a different type of terminal. So bear with me. I got to grab my electrical bag, which is right here. Right here. And we're going to straighten these out. Oops. Like so. So that we can put them on the wire nut instead of around the terminal like they were. So like so. And again, color coded. Those could actually be cut down a little bit. You don't really need more than 3/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch. And when you're dealing with this type of wire, it looks like I got closer to 3/4 to 7/8, so I'll just cut it back to a 1/2 inch. And then these wire nuts should always be this. So usually what you do is you do your ground and your neutral and your power last. Because sometimes if you put your power on first, which is your black, and you decide that you want to keep messing with it and you forget to turn the breaker off, that makes everything live. So you always put the live on last. At least I do. You don't necessarily have to, but that's the way I do it. Okay, so here is this. Another wire nut. We get that out of the way so you can see. And we go like this, right around. Like so. Whoops. Usually I skin those back to about 3/4. Here it's only a 1/2, but it might be enough just to wrap. And of course these wire nuts got metal inside of them too, so let me see. I can go right in there like that. Now normally, before I go and mount it, push everything up and mount it, before I do that, in case there's a bad connection or something, I'll put the light bulb in, go back, turn the breaker, and then try the power first. So that if it's incorrect, there's no sense of taking everything back down. It's almost like preventive medicine for troubleshooting. Okay, so okay, that's in there solid. Now let me go turn the light breaker back on and we'll turn it on. Wait a second, I thought these had pull strings. Oh, they do, okay. So we're gonna close the breaker first. Back to 9.
Whoa,
Apparently it works.
Yay.
Okay, so we're gonna shut the breaker back off because we've got other lights to do. So we know this one's working. After I mount it flush, we'll turn it back on, make sure the connection stays solid. So usually with this wiring like this, we turn it, because these are pretty flexible, we turn these ones up this way, up into the box on either side of the bar, so we have more room to put our other wiring in. And the flush mount does like it's supposed to. Okay, so there must be some other screws in there. Robin?
Yeah. Go.
You can use the same screws and then mount. Normally what I like to do is use these little threaded ones here and offset them so this stays and you don't have to mess with it. So usually what I'll do is line these up like so. I guess like that, right? Alright, so we'll go like this. I'm pretty sure that they're on the wider side, so we'll go like this. Come on, pig.
Put that down for Lance's words.
Here's one. Now we gotta go, I'm sure it's to the wide side, so you got that where you want it? Okay, so.
Another phrase. Well, you're hitting them out of the park today.
So you can see where these are a little bit wider and then they're slotted. So you put the wide part, get your wires tucked up in there, put the wide part there like that. Oops. Okay, I guess I blocked that hole with insulation somewhere there. You should do this one first, I guess, huh?
Push your white wire in.
Yeah, it'll get in there, so. That one's in. How come that one's not catching? Maybe I got it in the wrong one. Where is that screw?
Does it come through?
Hold on here. I guess we're gonna do this one first. Okay, so like, maybe I brought it up too far. That's probably the problem. Let me take it down a little bit. Okay. Why am I? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. So it's got to go back that way. So let's go like this here. There it is, right there.
There you go.
And then we're going to line this one up here. And then once they're in, you just turn them so they get to the slots.
There you go. See how the screws are in?
They're into the slots. It's flush to the top. Let's give her a quick little tightening up, not over tighten it. Again, like I said, that could be snugged a little bit more.
All right.
It's pretty solid. Robin, would you do me the honors and hand me that globe and we'll put her on. So you can see this 6-inch globe kind of got an old-fashioned look to it, like we used to have growing up in our houses. But these are the set screws. There should be 3 of them. You just turn them loose a little bit. On all 3 sides, you don't pull them out. You leave them in. And then you set your globe in here like this. And it's got to go flush. So if they're hitting like it is here, you got to loosen it a little bit. And then I think it's probably this one that's holding it. There it goes. Usually what I do is I get them in flush and then just go till they touch. Go till they touch, go till they touch. And I put them all evenly, so you don't want to over tighten them because it's glass. It's got a lip on the top of that or the bottom of this globe, so it'll keep it from sliding back out. But you don't want to run these screws through the glass. You just go till it's somewhat tight. Like that one's just snug. That one's now snug, and that one's now snug. It's got a little bit of slop to it. You might just adjust it, pump it a little bit, but nothing too serious. It looks like that's it right there. Yep, and it's working. Now that doesn't give a whole lot of light. It's got a little ambiance that's kind of quiet tone to it. And that's fine. We're gonna have another one in here, and who knows, before Robin's done, if she may not want to have a light outside the lamp over the bed for reading. Otherwise, we'll just use the lamp. So we're gonna take this light behind us out and then change it over to this Project Source 6-inch flush mount. So stay tuned, there's more to come. Okay, here we are, folks. Here we're at the first light. You can see, unlike the other light, we have 2. One is your supply power coming from the breaker box. The other one is the line going to the second light. So we'll tie these together in series so both of them have power. This one from the box, this one carrying the power to the other light. So again, it's the same sequence of order. You want to put your grounds together first. So here's our ground right here. Okay. So. Oops. Okay. And then of course your neutrals. We'll tuck this power down, get that ground out of our way because we're still going to tie into that. And we'll get both of these neutrals tied in as one so that we can connect the neutral from the light. started first here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Usually 2 or 3 turns around, you get pretty good, providing they're solid. So we'll get these up here a little bit. Get these 2 pounds. I should have put them in there first, and then I should have there. There it goes. Okay. Now push these back up this way. Oops, I got it upside down. Probably do. No, I don't. So it's going to go like this. All right, so now, way right there. All right. We'll leave it somewhat loose so I can get the angle and not have to fuss over it. Okay. Oh, I guess I should have pushed that up a little bit further, probably. That's still just me. Oops, hold that. I gotta get that ground out away from that because I'm gonna need to get to that. So I'm gonna take this thing here, pull it right back up here, back around this way. Yep, so I can tie it. Alright, there we go. Okay, that looks like it's going to be okay. There's my power, there's my neutral, here's my ground. Now, hold on, I gotta get this back here first. Okay, get this out of the way. Oh, yeah, that's round. I got that one to do. I don't need to connect to that one, so let me push that back up in there. All right, there we go. That's out of the way. Again, well, it's the same as the last time. I'm going to take this ground. I'm going to give us a little bit of an edge by using the ground to secure, stabilizing this ceiling mount from Project Source, and it'll allow me to free up my hands. Okay, so there we go, grounded. And so here is our neutral, which we will get that out of there, in between them two wires. I don't know why they got that in there, probably packaging, but we're gonna go like this. Set this up like that, turn it tight. Same thing with this one. Get this one tight. Okay. So, we're gonna use these here. We'll do with the neutral first. Okay. Okay, so that one is neutral. Push that right up. Load one, it sticks up in there, into that 4-inch, right out of the way, like that. And then of course, power last. And we shall do something to this effect right here. Okay. Okay, so now if we can put these back up in there without disrupting the connections, which it looks like we just did, because there's some flexibility in these smaller wires to rest on top of that. So Robin, would you do the honors of handing me another light bulb? And we shall put one in here and try it before we secure the ceiling mount flush. Bulb didn't seem very good, but nevertheless, I'm going to go try and turn the power back on and see what happens. Apparently we have connection. So, it'll work. With that said, we can leave it on and give me some light to help me mount it. So,
You don't need your headlamp on.
I guess not. What we do want to do is find these holes. Looks like that's it right there. Same thing as before though. What we want to do is put these screws in to hold it, but we won't put them in so far. But I believe, as we did on the last one, we're going to put them in the furthest spot here, like this. There's one. There's two. Okay, I think that probably the angle that I'm on, I couldn't get that bit to take that in all the way, but we're gonna go like this here. And let's see, we're gonna turn this in, turn this over. Whoops. Try to get that one in. It looks like that one might work there. I guess I better get underneath it a little bit more vertical so I can see what I'm doing. That is not even straight. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. Back it out of there a little bit. And try turning it back up straighter. Come on, baby. See what that does. It still ain't much better, but maybe we can get it to grab. No, we want this on this side. So we're going to keep these lights so they're uniform. I think. Oops, this is going to go in this way. Okay, that one's that way. Possibly. I'll gotta find where that one is. It's over here on this side, so it's gonna go like there. And I gotta get that one to line up too.
Put that line in, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. You got one in.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find the other one. I gotta turn that down a little bit. I got it too far around again. Other way. Okay. This one's wrestling me a little bit, but we're gonna get her. Okay, so. Okay, it's over here. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so now, we'll find that other one, which is right back here a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, almost there. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Yay!
Looks like we may have connection here. Ah, she shifted on me. Let me get this one first. Now I'm gonna turn it back a little bit. This way. Back into that slot. Okay. And we'll just give her a little bit of a cinch. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay, let's see the globe, Robin. So as you can see, these 3 set screws to hold that globe, I just turned them out equally. They're usually in so they don't lose in packaging like anything else. It's kind of like taking pins out of your hinges on your doors, but putting them back after you remove the door so you know where they're at and you won't lose them. And so they secure these screws by placing them all the way in. So this is all the way up in there. You just give a couple 3 turns on each one and then do the same thing here on all 3 sides. And then go back and do the same thing till one touches. 2, 3, 2, 3, and then you start again, rotation till they snug. 1, 2, and 3. And that's pretty solid. Now those are probably 60 watt, I'm guessing, or whatever the lights are. So like I said, they're not as bright. And of course the globe is kind of a crystallized thing, so it's got a light ambiance here, but we're in the cabin and setting and being off grid. A lot of people like it like that. They don't need the city lights. We're a little countrified here at 7 Mile. Stay with us. Okay.
Here.
Okay. Well, here, put this on one of those tools here.
They're both charged or just one?
No, just that one for now. We're still blinking the other ones.
Put another one on. Gotta keep your batteries charged.
We do.
Alright.
Okay, honey, how's that?
Perfect.
Huh?
Great. There we go. Alright.
That's close.
Let's keep going. And let you know that we are always busy up here. We so appreciate everyone that comes up to help us. And so we want to say thank you to David Janvrin. He is on his way back to New Hampshire. He was out here for a little bit of time since November, come out and helped us a little bit here and there. So we want to say thank you to David for helping us out, and remember, keep in touch. We certainly appreciate you and we love you. Thank you. God bless you. And remember, even in our toughest times, find that place of peace where you can just reflect on what God has done for you, what God will do for you, and what God will get you through. I want to say thank you to Johnna for sending me one of her crazy cartoons that just was right on time. God is good all the time, even when we're not, but He's all the time. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching through. And just, I pray that you have a most amazing, beautiful